This concept of the modern age that is being applied, this bid to go out there on the moon and to go out there on Mars and to establish the space wars and the satellites and all that. Where does all this come from? What is the reason? What is the drive behind it? Why does man want to do that? Why does he need to do that regardless? What is he trying to achieve? There is a correlation between the extensive advancement of technology. Not technology is not bad, the extensive advancement of technology to reaches that are really unnecessary. There is a correlation between that and this alliance of man and jinn. The drive behind this concept. If we take an example of the individual who invented the gas or the formula of jet propulsion, the fuel that they use to power the rocket ships that carry up the satellites and carry up all the the spacecrafts and all that. The individual Jack Parsons, who is regarded as the father of modern science, Jack Parsons recorded in his journals in French, he wrote it in French, saying that he received his inspiration from one whom he calls Belarion de Dajjal. That's what he has written in his journal. Why would he say that? Why Dajjal in this case? What is the correlation here? Leave it to you to make the deductions. So he told the three of them, descent. Some of you are going to be enemies of each other. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدًى. And when there comes to you from me guidance as messengers, such as Jibril alayhi salam, or revelation, which also serves as guidance, فَمَنِ اتَّبَعَ هُدَايَ. And whosoever follows my guidance, فَلَا يَذِلُّ وَلَا يَشْقَى. He will not go astray, nor will he suffer. And that's the application here. If you want to fulfill that philosophy that Allah has set for you, it is not going to be easy. You need to know how to do it. And you can only understand that from the guidance He sends down to you. So the testaments that He has sent down, each of His testaments, one after the other, the Quran being the final testament of this age, is the only guidance that you can apply in order to persevere through that philosophy, encountering the other philosophy, the other ideology that Iblis has put forward. How much time do we have? How much time have we used? So, to conclude this element here, because there's still a second part of understanding the eternal enemy and his concept and his ideology, by understanding his personality and understanding his reasons why he did what he did, his logic and application of that logic. Because Iblis is not an idiot, he's not dumb, he's an intelligent being, and he is very good in logic. If you understand that logic, then you understand which direction you're going to take. But we also see a few things from this event, this incident, as when Adam, Hawa, and Iblis were all told to leave. That Iblis's behavior validates that the jinn are not flawless. They make mistakes, and they make monumental mistakes. That Adam and Hawa's mistakes also validate that mankind is not flawless. We can make monumental mistakes. We all err, we all need guidance. But the question is, do we learn from our lesson? The bid of this frontal pursuit to immortality, everlasting materialism, continues day by day. The progresses are being made under the pretext of scientific benefits, scientific advancement. This is the unfolding process. despite what happened in the beginning. This is the process continuously being pursued. We as Muslims have been given this knowledge. This is not a knowledge that I have derived from my own deductions, from my own thinking process, my own theorems. It's from the Quran. You read the same ayat and you look at the same context here, you will derive the same knowledge as I have, maybe something better. It's not something new. It's not something that needs to be explored or subjective. It's not something that's, okay, that's your opinion, That's not what it is. The philosophies are clear. Remember, not falsafa, not philosophy as a subject. Philosophy is a thought, as a wisdom, the application of that wisdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us one path to follow. Iblis is countering that and saying, listen, in order to counter that philosophy, he's not giving you all the information. This is the game that he's playing. Because the Quran requires depth. You can't just derive from it by looking at the words and expect to have full understanding. It requires immense depth, really deep understanding, going really deep into it in thought and ponderance, contemplation. From the surface, any regular Muslim can look at the ayah and say, oh, well, okay, that's what it means, then that's what it means. But he's not really understood the concept. So Iblis is going to play his part in that gap. If you did not go deep, he's going to play his part. He's going to push his wedge of curiosity into you. And he'll tell you, listen, you're not being given the whole picture here. Something is being kept secret from you. Well, it's not being kept secret. It's already there. It's just we're not able to see it. And he's going to say, no, you can actually live forever if you really think about it. I mean, you just have to preserve your body, right? You just need to overcome aging. So if you apply a little bit of that aging cream on your face, all the wrinkles will go away. Maybe you will live an extra 2 years, It's not a debate of whether or not these people will achieve their pursuits. They're trying, they're really trying hard. And they are the majority. They are the guiding force today. The Muslims are many, they're many in number, but there are very few believers. And those few believers are not able to pull up the numbers, to pull up the strengths and the integrity to counter this ideology. At one point we were able to, during the great Islamic golden age that we are very proud of, but we don't uphold. We were able to counter these ideologies with strong intellectual acumen, counter arguments, both in logic and philosophy, and in the sciences as well. We're not able to do it today, so they are the dominating force. Now we have a choice. Either we follow along with them for the sake of prosperity, or we die hungry. That's the concept being applied. So it's not a debate of whether or not they will achieve these pursuits. The matter is very clear as far as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid out the conditions for this material world, that everything has a beginning and has an end in the material world. There's no way they're going to make it forward. Illa bi sultan, he has already made it clear. If you think you're going to follow these pursuits, go ahead and try. You won't be able to do it. These pursuits that they have currently, and the terminology is, swing left, right, whatever terminologies they apply, transhumanism, posthumanism, the constant rise of infrastructures, the building of immense cities and robotic cities, artificial intelligences, this, that, and the other, all at the cost of nature, by the way, all at the cost of something. There is something that has to be given for something else. All this development and advancement is detrimental to something else, the planet that we are living in. And they're all talking about their climate changes and we need to do something and we need to do something, but nothing is being done. You can't hope to achieve climate change if you're still going to pollute the air with your machinery. It doesn't work. It's redundant. There can be no doubt that all that, the secularization, the mechanization of thoughts and emotions as far as human nature is concerned, the compoundment of doctrines and dogmas, the ideological warfare, the eradication of religious essence and leaving religion only as ritualistic, all these pursuits will perish. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when, and that time is approaching soon. It's approaching sooner and swifter than we can count. So, we who are able to perceive it, who are able to see these happenings, what measures are we taking? Because we are part and parcel of that great machine. Our jobs, our careers, our pursuance in careers, paper pushers, laborers, consumers, we are all part and parcel of that machine. We are very expert at shouting slogans, but very much incapacitated in making a stand that is worthy of our faith, because we have crippled ourselves in essence and intellectual acumen, in the knowledges and the sciences of our deen, that is, if applied correctly, can actually oppose that counter philosophy. Because you cannot destroy the truth, and the truth is in the Quran. We need to use it. The truth will not use itself. We need to use the truth. We tend to allow that might, that waswasa, that pathogenic ideology to penetrate our hearts and corrupt our souls. In that we have wronged ourselves, in the same way that Adam and Hawa made their dua. We have wronged ourselves. If we do not seek redemption and the mercy of our Lord, and if we do not open our hearts to His nur and His guidance, we will definitely be among those who are lost. And the people who are lost in this age are defined by Suratul Asr. Wal Asr, in this period of humanity, this age of Asr, as time is now headed towards an age of darkness, Innal insana lafi khusr, people are lost, except illa alladhina amanu, those who have iman, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat, and those who do have a righteous conduct, do righteous deeds, wa tawassaw bil haqq, and engage each other with truth, wa tawassaw bis sabr, and engage each other with patience. Time is the most precious commodity that we have. We waste that time in meaningless conversations, in endless gossips, in political semantics, in games, in all manner of different things, rather than use that time in reminding each other as to what exactly we are dealing with and how can we possibly handle the situation. Maybe we cannot counter it, but we can at least fortify ourselves and fortify our deen and fortify our iman for our sakes, and then leave the enemy to Allah's mercy.